The Hitman series is a franchise that I always look forward to. I find something to enjoy within each entry. Hitman 2 was my introduction to the series, the character of Agent 47, and the composer Jesper Kyd. Hitman 3 showed me some more refined mechanics and revamped missions from the first Hitman. Hitman Blood Money was perfection and the definitive Hitman experience in gameplay and story. Hitman Absolution gave me an interesting story, the long-awaited return of 47, and refined shooting. This brings us to Hitman 2016, which brings a return to those open levels, an episodic level release structure, and a lot of replay value. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my review for Hitman. Hitman feels like an assassin's playground. It gives you several locations to explore and visit. Hitman boils down to dropping you into a location and then you using what you brought in and whatever you can find within the environment to take out your targets. Many developers and publishers like to throw out the buzzword sandbox as a means to show how open and varied their game is. While many games do have variety, I don't think they really are a sandbox. I feel this word is used a lot because it has a positive meaning within the games industry. But with Hitman, it really is a sandbox. The creativity within a sandbox is that ideally you have this one space that you can basically do whatever you want in it. And depending on the tools you have, you can continually manipulate that space into something new. This is a great way to describe how Hitman approaches its level design and gameplay. For the most part, Hitman 2016 delivers on this with providing a good amount of levels that act as these mini open worlds that have their own buildings to explore, events happening within those areas, and people just going about their lives. The different ways you can take out your targets is pretty impressive. You can poison your target's food or drink, and then you can meet them in the bathroom so you can give them a good old toilet shower.
Good work, 47. Time to find Dahlia Margolis.
You can push them off a cliff during yoga practice.
Now, this is a view to die for. That was just what I needed.
Target down. Now it's time for...
Or you can launch them from an ejector seat.
Step 1. Strap yourself in.
Okay. All strapped in.
Step 2. Locate the ejector seat handle.
Just a moment. Yes, found it.
Step 3. Pull the ejector seat handle.
Right. Here it goes. Pull.
These fun kills are a joy to find and execute. This helps feed into the replay and progression for the game. The game will provide you with different opportunities in the environment that you can take advantage of. You can turn off these if you want to have an assistance-free experience. I like that you can turn these assistance modifiers off, as many Hitman fans enjoyed the approach of the older games where you were dropped into a level, they said go take out your target, and it was your job to really learn the environment, learn your target's schedule and patterns, and find the best moment to attack them, and then leave before anyone knew you were there. On the other hand, I do like that these assistance features are in the game, as the Hitman series is a series that does have a learning curve to it, so having those assistance features as an option does create more of a welcoming experience for new players that just want to start getting into Hitman. I find that Hitman 2016 mostly exceeds at making both parties feel happy about this. Killing your targets and killing them in creative ways, along with finding opportunities, will net you rewards that feed into your progression. Rewards will give you items and weapons to use in different stages, along with new locations to start within the same level. I like how you can start in different areas of the same map, so that this kind of feeds into different strategies to pull off. Along with this, it does provide a nice sense of freshness as you're playing the same location again, but coming in from a different angle. The environments within this series and this game do a great job of feeling like real places.
That is Victor Novikov, head of Sanguine and ringleader of Iago. Quite the resume.
Look, Daniel, she's nice.
I don't know. There's something in
Like I said before, your target will have his or her daily routine and will be moving about the level doing many things. If you learn their routine, you can exploit this to provide an opportunity for yourself. But the civilians, guards, and law enforcement all within the level also have their own routines. A shop owner may be attending to customers, and you need something within their shop to assist you to proceed to a vantage point or get closer to your target. Random people may become suspicious by your actions if you're doing something odd, like climbing a building from the outside. They may run and alert a guard or a policeman, which then may come over, and then you'll get some unwanted attention. A small and great detail within the game is if you drop a gun and a civilian finds that weapon, they will alert a guard or law enforcement member of the firearm. The small things the AI pays attention to within the environment helps sell the levels as places and locations rather than just this big space where you need to kill someone. The locations are rather large and provide a good sense of accomplishment for exploring. You may find new paths that you'll use on your next playthrough. There's many moments that will create this feeling of, oh, I didn't know there was a path here, or I didn't know I could go this way. This sense of discovery and level design inherently encourages and actively promotes replay, as finding these things creates that addictive curiosity just to see how that level could play out differently had you done a different route. This also relates into the many disguises you can wear. The game lets you take the clothes off of pretty much anyone within the game, and I do like that everyone has the same size clothes because they always fit perfectly on 47. The disguises can help you get closer to your target, or get past a checkpoint that a regular citizen wouldn't be able to get through. Some people can spot you through your disguises as they are familiar with every man on their team. This helps to not break the game by letting you use a single disguise and then let you run wildly throughout every piece of the level. These do help to create some very satisfying spy-like movie moments where you're trying to get around a guy who can spot you through your disguise, and you're trying to make sure that they can't see you as you're moving throughout the environment. It is very satisfying to move throughout the environment in a disguise, as it just makes you feel like James Bond going undercover. Like I said before, there are many ways to play Hitman, and there isn't really a wrong way to play the game.
Is it true the boss, Mister?
What are you done?
You know, even with the added security, this is the most relaxing.
Balls!
If you want to go the stealthy approach, or try to find a means to be able to make your kill look like an accident, you can do that. Or you can just go guns a-blazing and gun everyone down. The shooting is good in the game, and I like how the enemies react when you shoot them. If you hit an enemy while they're running, they most likely will fall over from the impact of being in motion and then being struck by a bullet. Hitman as a series, and it's true here as well, provides gunning your way through levels as one of the many possible choices. Hitman actively encourages you to try out a level differently or approach a situation from a different angle. Gunning everyone down is familiar to most players because that's usually what we do in many video games. Go behind cover and then shoot the bad guys. Hitman wants you to think about possibility and execution. Since Hitman provides options to its levels, and through finding new opportunities you'll gain unlockables that will provide you with even more opportunities. The openness allows me to have some fun within this space and infusing a little bit of that childlike imagination into it. A good example of this is when I unlock the ninja outfit.
Suspect is in the staff room! Target is lost!
You start out on a hill and you're armed with your normal weapons and a sword. You have the normal level's enemies to be able to execute, but I wanted to add some more layers to this. For this mission, I wasn't Agent 47. I was a ninja seeking revenge. I proceeded to sneak around the map, taking out as many people as I could as stealthy as possible. Creating these playful experiences do really add to the game. Since Agent 47 can disguise himself as almost anyone on the map, you can really come up with your own little stories based all on your imagination. I'm sure I'm not alone in doing this, and I'd love to hear about other people's situations that they've come up with while playing Hitman. Hitman's mostly mandatory internet connection is an area of the game that I do find at odds with everything else, especially how you unlock items. The game allows you to play the game while offline or online. You can only earn challenges while playing the game online, but you can take what you have earned online and use that offline, but you can't earn anything offline. This is an odd choice as this is a single player only game, and I dislike mandatory online connections, but I can understand the use of them with, say, MMOs or other games like The Division and Destiny. This is one area that I hope gets patched out, as the online and offline issues affects the save systems, as the servers can have issues themselves and you won't be able to load your saves if you are connected to the internet and now you're playing offline. This should not have been in the game and really goes against the freedom that the game otherwise presents.
Our team found no records of any kind. No name. Nothing.
I think they called me 47.
That's not a name.
So make it one.
All right. Agent 47.
You were always the best. Nobody ever came close. You define the art, and it defines you. Your actions have changed the world. Powerful men have fallen by your hand, but by the same token, others have risen. Do you realize what kind of world you've been shaping? Does the ICA? Does your handler?
Lastly, I wanted to touch on the story. So the story starts at the very beginning of the Hitman timeline and then picks up following the events of Absolution. The story is interesting and doesn't start to come together until around episode 4 and 5. The story is set up like a season of TV with different episodes, and there are many questions that are left unanswered. But season 1 does have a fun spy conspiracy-like story that does a good job of creating some fun mystery and helps to tie the levels together. This game was initially released piecemeal with an episode coming out every few months. I can see this working for Hitman's gameplay perspective, since each level is like a mini open world with a lot to do and a lot of options. But this release schedule really does hurt the flow of the narrative, as you're only getting a small piece at infrequent rates. I played through the whole game at once, and I think this is the better way to experience the story. The story would work better in episodes if the episodes were released on a more frequent basis. I do enjoy the music and soundtrack in the game, but it lacks the caliber of music that was found in the previous Hitman games that were composed by Jesper Kyd. His soundtracks always feel like they are a character of the game. They are very memorable and help further bring the environments and setting to feeling alive. The soundtrack here isn't bad, but I would rather that Jesper Kyd come back and compose some more music. Hitman always has been one of those series that I loved and grew up with. I really love that the same voice actor for Agent 47 has continued to do voice work for each game. His voice is iconic and completely fits the character that if anyone else did him, it wouldn't feel right. I have high hopes for Season 2. Though I do like the potential of continually building on this model, I do like that Hitman 2 is releasing as a full game rather than as an episodic one. I would love if they remade some older levels from Hitman 1 through 4 and released them as free content updates to their new game. Hitman 2016 is a great experience with some odd choices in relation to its internet connection, but if you want to brush up on your Hitman before the sequel this fall, then this is most definitely worth your time.
Have a nice day.